Ah, Salem, you never fail to deliver the heartbreak, the twists, and the days of our lives fans glued to our screens day after day. For over 5 decades, this iconic soap has woven tales of love, betrayal, family feuds, and yes, those shocking character exits that leave us reeling. Today, we're zeroing in on one of the younger residents who's been stirring up quite the storm lately. Holly Jonas. Is her ending imminent? Could we really be saying goodbye to this FI teen who's been a staple in the Horton-DiMera orbit? Let's unpack this, shall we? I've been following Days since the days when Stefano DiMera was pulling strings from beyond the grave hot, and let me tell you, the signs are pointing to something catastrophic for Holly. But why do I think her end is near? Buckle up, because we're about to dissect her downward spiral, so what could be S immense?
First, let's rewind a bit and remind ourselves who Holly is. Because in the whirlwind of Days' ever-evolving storylines, it's easy to lose track. Holly Jonas, daughter of Nicole Walker and the late Daniel Jonas with a paternity twist involving Eric Brady that we'll never forget, has grown up in the shadow of some of Salem's most dramatic figures. She's got that classic mix of vulnerability and sass that makes her relatable to the younger audience. I think of her as the modern-day Sammy Brady in training, but with a softer edge. Introduced as a baby back in 2016, Holly's life has been anything but ordinary: kidnappings, custody battles, and now, as a teenager played by the talented Ashley Puzemis, she's navigating the treacherous waters of high school drama intertwined with the adult world's secrets. But lately, something's shifted. Holly's not the same girl who was crushing on Tate Black or dealing with typical teen angst. No, this is something darker, more insidious, and it all started with a simple prescription. It began innocently enough, or at least, that's how it appeared. Holly, like so many teens, was battling acne, that relentless foe that can shatter self-confidence faster than a DiMera scheme unravels. In a bid to clear her skin and boost her ego, she turned to medication. We first saw hints of this in episodes around the fall storyline, where Holly confided in her friends about feeling insecure. "I just want to feel normal," she lamented in one scene, her eyes glistening with that trademark Days vulnerability. But oh, how quickly things escalated. The meds, prescribed by some well-meaning doctor, because in Salem, medical professionals are either saints or unwittingly part of the plot, were supposed to be a quick fix. Instead, they've unleashed a torrent of side effects that have transformed Holly from a sweet, if impulsive, girl into a powder keg of rage. The outbursts started small, but in true soap fashion, they snowballed into full-blown spectacles. Remember that controversial clash at the sorority party? It was the talk of Salem and the message boards for weeks. Picture this: the University of Salem's Greek scene, lights flashing, music thumping, and Holly in the midst of it all. She'd been invited by Sophia Choi, her supposed friend, but tensions were already simmering. Holly, under the influence of those pills, misinterpreted a casual comment as a slight against her family. Before anyone could intervene, she was in a heated argument that escalated to shoving and shouting. Glasses shattered, punches were almost thrown, and by the end of the night, Holly was escorted out, her reputation in tatters. Fans were divided. Some saw it as Holly standing up for herself, others as a sign of her unraveling. "She's not herself," one viewer tweeted, echoing what we've all been thinking. And let's not forget the flute rumors spread like wildfire through the campus, painting Holly as unstable, which only fed into her growing isolation. But that party was just the appetizer. The real meat of her anger issues came in her interactions with those closest to her, Kate and Ariana. Tate Black, son of Brady and Teresa, has been Holly's on-again, off-again flame, their chemistry crackling like a Horton family reunion gone wrong. In a recent episode, Tate tried to confront Holly about her behavior at the party, concern etched on his face. "Holly, what's going on with you?" he asked, reaching out. Her response: a volcanic eruption of accusations. She yelled about him not supporting her, about feeling judged, her voice rising to a pitch that had even the veteran actors looking stunned. "You think I'm crazy? Maybe I am, thanks to everyone in this town," she screamed, storming off and leaving Tate bewildered. It was a gut-wrenching scene, reminiscent of classic Days moments like when Carrie lashed out at Austin during her own emotional turmoil. Then there's Ariana Hernandez, another teen caught in the crossfire. Ariana, with her own baggage from the Hernandez clan, tried to play peacemaker, pulling Holly aside for a heart-to-heart. But Holly, her temper fueled by the meds, turned on her like a cornered animal. "Mind your own business, Ariana. You don't know what I'm going through. The yelling match spilled into the Brady pub, of all places, where patrons like Roman and Kate looked on in shock. Ariana, tears streaming, backed away, muttering, "This isn't you, Holly." And she's right, it isn't. The Holly we knew was compassionate, even if flawed. This version. She's alienating everyone, building walls higher than the DiMera mansion's security. These outbursts aren't isolated incidents. They're symptoms of a deeper malaise. As a longtime watcher, I've seen this pattern before in days. Remember when J.J. Devereaux spiraled after his father's death, turning to drugs and lashing out? Or when Claire Brady's mental health issues led to arson and obsession? Holly's story feels like a callback to those, but with a modern twist involving prescription meds. The show has always been bold about tackling real-world issues: addiction, mental health, teen pressures, and Holly's arc is no exception. But here's where it gets really ominous. Her yelling at everyone is just the tip of the iceberg. We believe something bigger, something truly devastating, is on the horizon. The writers have been dropping breadcrumbs, and if you're paying attention, they're leading straight to tragedy. Enter Sophia Choi and Rachel Black, two characters who've added layers of intrigue to this plot. Sophia, with her sharp wit and hidden agendas, has been orbiting Holly's circle for months. Their friendship started innocently, bonding over shared teen woes, but lately, Sophia's motives seem suspect. In a pivotal episode last week, Sophia approached Rachel Black, Kristen Dimmer's daughter, who's no stranger to mischief, with a peculiar request. "I need you to deliver a gift to Holly," Sophia said, her eyes glinting with what could only be described as calculated glee. Rachel, ever the eager participant in Salem's schemes, after all, she's got DiMera blood, agreed without much prodding. What was this gift? A bottle of pills, ostensibly to help with Holly's acne, but fans with eagle eyes noticed the switcher. Those weren't the prescribed meds. They were swapped out for something far more potent, possibly laced or counterfeit. The swap also, the drama. Holly, oblivious to the tampering, continued popping them like candy, thinking they were her salvation. But in Salem, nothing is ever straightforward. We've seen flashes of Holly's increasing disorientation, dizzy spells, blurred vision, moments where she zones out mid-conversation. It's building to a crescendo, and the foreshadowing is thick. Remember that scene where Holly stared at her reflection, popping another pill, muttering, "This has to work." The camera lingered on the bottle, the label slightly SQ Classic Days hint dropping. And now, with Rachel's delivery ensuring Holly's supply doesn't run out, the stage is set for disaster. This is where my gut tells me Holly's end could be near, the inevitable tragedy involving driving under the influence. Picture it, it's a staple in soap operas, those high-stakes car accidents that change everything. Holly, her judgment impaired by the drugs, a deadly cocktail of the original med's side effects amplified by whatever's in the swaps, gets behind the wheel. Maybe she's fleeing another argument, perhaps with Tate or her mom Nicole, who's been suspiciously absent but is due for a dramatic return. The roads of Salem are notoriously foggy and winding. How many crashes have we seen on that infamous cliffside? And in her altered state, Holly loses control. Screeching tires, a flash of headlights, and boom, accident. The previews have been teasing it. Quick cuts of a car veering off the road, sirens wailing. Could this be Holly's swan song? Death in days is rarely permanent. Treasure accounts are practically a plot device, but for a character like Holly, it could stick. She's young, which makes it all the more tragic, echoing real-life warnings about prescription drug abuse. Imagine the ripple effects. Nicole devastated, returning to Salem in a blaze of grief. Tate racked with guilt, perhaps turning to his own dark side. Sophia exposed as the villain, leading to a juicy confrontation. And Rachel. She might claim innocence, but in DiMera fashion, it'll blow up. Fans are buzzing on forums. Some predict a coma instead of death, allowing for a recast or future return. Others think it'll tie into a larger storyline, maybe involving the return of Daniel's ghost or a medical miracle courtesy of Kayla. But let's expand on why this feels so imminent. Dees has a history of killing off teens to shake things up. Think back to the 80s with the Salem slasher arc, or more recently, the heartbreaking loss of Zach Brady in a hit-and-run. Those moments aren't just for shock value, they propel the veterans forward. With Holly, it could reignite feuds between the Jonas and Black families, or draw Eric back into Nicole's arms. The writers, under Ron Carlivati's helm, love these layered narratives. Carlivati, who's been steering the ship since 2017, has a knack for blending campy fun with emotional depth. Remember the time jump that killed off Adrienne? This feels similar, a slow burn leading to explosion. Diving deeper into Holly's psyche, her anger isn't just plot-driven, it's a mirror to societal issues. Acne meds like isotretinoin, in which the storyline seems inspired by, can indeed cause mood swings, depression, even suicidal thoughts in rare cases. Days is nodding to that, educating while entertaining. Holly's outbursts at the party. That wasn't just drama, it was a cry for help. She shoved a sorority sister, accused her of sabotage a creeping in. Tate's confrontation. She didn't just yell, she threw a glass, shattering it against the wall, her hands shaking. Ariana's attempt at intervention. Holly's words cut deep. You're just jealous because your life's a mess. Ouch. These scenes are masterfully acted, with Puzemis bringing raw emotion that rivals the greats like Allison Sweeney. Now, the gift subplot deserves its own spotlight. Sophia's request to Rachel wasn't casual. It was whispered in the shadows of the Kyriakis mansion, away from prying eyes. Rachel, with her impish grin, pocketed the bottle, later slipping it to Holly during a study session. From Sophia, with love, she said, winking. Holly, desperate for relief, didn't question it. But we, the audience, know better. Speculation runs wild. Are the pills opioids? Hallucinogens? Something from the black market, tied to a larger drug ring in Salem. Dees has dabbled in drug stories before EJG's addiction. Chur's ordeal in this could connect to that. If Holly drives high, the accident might not just kill her, it could involve innocence, like a pedestrian or another car. Imagine if it's someone like Chur or Ben's Kidboom. Crossover chaos. Could Holly die? Absolutely. In soaps, death is a revolving door, but for impact, it happens. Her end would be poetic. The girl who survived so much as a child, felled by something as mundane as bad meds. But is it the end? Maybe not for Everdees loves a twin or a look-alike. Let's discuss how this unfolds. Next week's episodes hint at Holly borrowing Tate's car after a fight. She's emotional, pops a pill, hits the road. Crash. Hospital scenes with beeping monitors, tearful vigils. Nicole rushes in, blaming everyone. Tate confesses his love at her bedside. Sophia's secret unravels when Rachel spills. It's classic day short-wrenching, addictive.
As fans, we thrive on the speculation. Is Holly doomed, or will she pull through stronger? Share your thoughts below. I've been wrong before. But the vibes are ominous. Stay tuned, and Salem watchers. The drama's just heating up.